Hello friends, welcome to this design thinking class, and here we are going to discuss about the principles of service design and benefits of service design that will come under fifth unit, design thinking for service design. First, let us discuss about this principles of service design. Here much of the service design is found in this design of processes, and the principles are both internal principles as well as external principles. And these principles, that is internal and external principles, underpin this any activity that fails to add value of the customer. That is, if the principle fails to value to the customer, that should be eliminated or minimized, and this is important here. And work is always structured around processes and not around internal construct such as functions, geography and product. So we have to focus only the structured around the processes, and this enable accountability and responsibility from single individual and reduces delays and rework, and it encourages creativity, innovation and ownership of work. Here the process variation should kept a minimum, and process dependencies should kept also the minimum. That is, all the process should be in parallel, and process should be internalized rather than overly decomposed. That is, training is better than work instructions. That is, we have to give the work experience to our consumers than giving the training, and process breaks and delays must kept to minimum. So the process should complete continuously, and the reconciliation should be minimum. That is, while comparing the financial record or account balances, the difference should be minimum, and the controls and inspections of process, that should be kept to minimum. Everyone should go as per schedule, and there need not be any inspection on that process. This is called as principles of service design. And next we will move to benefits of service design. Here we are having 5 benefits. The first one is design ideal human interaction. Second one is consider everyone involved. And third one, create consistency with service design. And fourth one is service design embrace changes. And the last one is foster creativity and collaboration. Let us discuss all these things somewhat in brief. The first one is design ideal human interactions. That is, service designers are able to capture the entire end-to-end customer's journey. By examining both the end user's current experience and expectations, the service designer are able to determine various pain points and moments of delight with the services. So, it is important to design the ideal human interactions. We need to interact with the ideal humans. There are 5 layers to designing for human interactions within the service design. The first one is a shift from product to services. Here, the service design requires a strategic shift of thinking from discrete tangible product to holistic and connected experience that satisfies the customer. And the second one is examining a product from back end to front end. This layer focuses on moving away from simply the end user or the customer towards considering all stakeholders who are interested in, invested in and influenced by the services. The third one is transitioning from consumption of a product to relationship. A quote says, people don't buy the product but buy the better version of themselves. This mindset within the service design that focus on building a mutually beneficial relationship with customers. And the fourth one is evolving from service to business design. From this holistic lens of business, service design plays an important role in encouraging different levels of innovation within a company, whether it be incremental, adjacent or disruptive. And the last one is moving from relationship to ecologies. Here, the service design ecosystem focus on every individual or aspects involved, and just as ecology is the link between environment and its organizations, and the value exchange in a service benefits everyone. And now let us see the second benefit of consider everyone involved. In the service designers, they need to understand delivering a great services which is not only dependent on the service itself but on the experience of people whom we are delivering those services. So we need to consider the people's experience also. And in this way, service designer aims to improve and innovate services that affect both customers as well as the organization. This is the second benefit. Here we are having three different tools for understanding the parties who are involved in our services. The first one is research interviews, second one is stakeholder map, and third one is personals, that is user personals. Let us see all these things one by one. The first one is research interview, that is talking to stakeholders is called as interview, that is used to clarify the problems and define successful outcomes. So the interviews are very important with the stakeholders. And second one is stakeholder map. Here we need to record all the events and that should be captured the interaction between the customers. That is whatever we interact with the customers we need to record and capture all the content, and that has different touch points or perspective of the services. And this recording helps to overcome the complexity of everyday interactions. So this stakeholder map is very important here. And third one is user personals. A very typical example of a user current trend, which is otherwise called as an archetype, or the visual representation of user's trend that gives a clear picture about customer behavior pattern. So we have to give a visual representation of the user personals. And now let us move to the third benefit, that is create consistency with service design. The service designer who are working in the designing team, their aim is to increase the usability and learnability of different aspects of that particular services. They need to learn about those services. The main benefit of improving the consistency of a particular service, that includes eliminating confusion on the services and improving the wastage, and third one is encouraging continuous learning. Here the first one is eliminating confusion. If the consistency service is very user friendly, then effectively reducing the error and eliminating user frustration and pains. So it should be a user friendly one. Then we can easily eliminate the confusions. And second one is improving wastage. A consistent service is built on predefined components which facilitate efficient decision making and reduce cost and time. So we need to improve the predefined components to reduce the wastage. And third one is encouraging continuous learning. By means of comparison, we can improve the consistency that helps to quick reach of benchmark for a business, that helps to learn and iterate. So here the comparison within the service will be very easy when compared to the comparison of outside services. The fourth benefit is service design embrace changes. And most of the startups got failed, that is 90% of startups got failed. They have created a product that no one wants, that is waste product, and also known as inability to find the product market fit. They don't know anything about the customer requirements. And the service design improves the company's chance of success by keeping them agile. This agile helps to the organization towards the constantly evolving needs of customers and changes in the technology. So based on the customer requirements only, we need to select a product and we need to develop and market that product. And the service design leads an approach that can help to higher adaptation, retention rate, and increase the customer satisfaction. These things are very important while creating a new product. And this derives increased revenue and market share in highly competitive global market. And through these activities such as research, affinity mapping, and constructing a service blueprint, the service designers are able to build and ideate a solution. So the service designer have to do the research and affinity mapping and constructing a service blueprint. All these things are important. And these solutions is not only fit for purpose but also address the end user's core job to be done. That is, this service should satisfy the end user. The last and important benefit is faster creativity and collaboration. Here, faster creativity and collaboration by stepping outside of the building, that is going directly to the end user. We need to meet the end user directly, and this service design brings together all the players in a services, and this will give a drastical improving the collaboration and creativity of end solutions. By removing the stakeholders blinkers, that means the persons who are not involved fully with these services, then the service design injects the fresh perspective. That means it incorporates various angles into solutions, which includes client, customers, stakeholders, and even external factors such as the environment. Up to this, we have discussed the principles of service design and the benefits of service design from the design thinking for service design. Here we have discussed the benefits like design ideal human interaction, consider everyone involved, create consistency with service design, and service design embrace changes and foster creativity and collaborations. For more information, please go through your textbook. Thank you.